right, guys, we're just up the ditch. This is the same ditch that I found that deer carcass in that big dam, probably about a mile or two down this way. Ended up catching that first night, had that beaver, a big beaver that ringed off, never did see him again. Ended up picking up another pretty good sized beaver in that same set on that crossover, and then didn't pick nothing else up for a long time. Ended up pulling the traps out of there, giving them time to rest and calm back down. Went back in and we caught a couple of beaver in that. The dam had washed out while we were gone, and we set that 330 in that dam break and ended up picking up a couple of more beaver out of there. But after that, those beaver completely disappeared, didn't know where they went. Before I set that, I actually come up here to this farm and looked, and there was no activity whatsoever up here. But what happened, we got in there chasing those beaver, scaring them, missed a couple, and they completely, then the dam got washed out. So they completely moved and come up here above this huge pipe culvert, and they come in here and they completely stopped it up on this side. And you guys can tell that water was completely up here to this road, flooded, when the farmer called me the other day. They come in here with an excavator, opened it back up, but it caused a lot of damage for those farmers. That water diverted, because it wasn't going through this culvert, it diverted and flooded completely across this field back down here into the ditch again, and it completely washed out, huge wash on the edge of this field where it went back in the ditch. So now farmer's got to come in here and fix all that. But I told him I'd get over here and look at it, see if we couldn't pick the beaver up. Just looking right here now, guys, I'm not seeing any sticks. I'm not really seeing as they come back in here and started to rebuild this dam again. I'm gonna go ahead and hop in a truck and drive on down here. There's a little low water crossing on this ditch, and a lot of times those beaver will dam it up as well. So I'm gonna go down here and take a look at it, see if maybe we can target them up there on that end. There used to be, I hadn't trapped this in about 3 years, there used to be some dens in this point right here, bank dens going up in there from side to side. I'll get down there and look at it, maybe put some in there. Just looking right up here, I see that log across. Looks like there's only one opening right there where that log's at. That'd be a good spot for a 330. But anyway, I'm gonna look around here, guys. You can see right here, it's kind of a little bank den right here when they had it flooded going up in there. We'll just have to get down there and poke around, see what we can find, and make some sets. I'm not sure that I'm gonna do it today because they're, like I said, they're calling for ice and stuff tomorrow. But I may, this isn't too far from the house. I may go ahead and get just a few sets here. But I'm definitely not gonna get back over there and get those canine sets working. We'll just wait till after this ice event, get those back going. All right, guys, so we're not too far up from that culvert. Just about as far as you can see is where that culvert was at. I get down here and I can see a lot of peeled sticks where they were in here chewing. Up here looks like a little bank den right there, maybe another one there. There's chew sticks all down through here. So I'm gonna say they may be up here on this upper end. We're gonna get on up there and look at that cross and see if maybe they've got it dammed up, staying above it right now. I'm not seeing anything real fresh activity. Looks like there may be a den coming back in here on this side, but we're gonna get on up here and take a look at it. I was right over there on that other side. We can see that's where all those sticks come from. So that's where those beaver were up here on the bank chewing on that. Dropped them down to the water, and then they washed up down there where we saw them earlier on those little feed beds. I don't know, with them pulling all that water out of here, I don't know if those beaver will still be in here or not. They may have pushed back down to where that dam was. And when you get to chasing them like this, it isn't real fun to pinpoint them, and that's why it's important to sneak in real quick, get them without making disturbance, get them all caught, because if you don't, you end up chasing them around like this right here. So if you can get in there, make as many sets as you can, least disturbance you can, get them picked up, then you don't have to do this. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna ease on up here, check this little crossing. We may go back down there to where that dam was, and just go in there and check and see if maybe they moved back down that area. All right, guys, Here's that little crossing area I was talking about. In the past, they've had a dam right up here, built across here, holding water on that upper end. I'm just going to kind of walk this ditch a little bit. See, as of right now, I'm not really seeing any chew sticks or any chewings on the side back up that way. Look back down here. Don't believe there's going to be a dam between here and that culvert. Just going to walk up this ditch a little ways, kind of look around, see if maybe they're living up here on this upper end of this ditch. There's a little intake ditch comes into it right here. It's not blocked off, holding water. So guys, I really think they might have moved back down there to that ditch. We're gonna hop in a truck, go down there and take a look at it. We can drive this ditch for a little ways along the side of it. Probably drive it, see if I can find any dams, any holding areas where they're holed up right now. And yep, we're just trying to pinpoint them and pinpoint the best place to make our sets to get them picked up the quickest. We'll probably end up coming in here along this ditch, just some narrow points like that one log we saw, some different places. Once the water gets down, we'll be able to pinpoint some runs. We can throw some 330s in and leave them set, pick them up, moving back and forth, pick up some otter while the otters come through. But yep, since we didn't get them the first time, guys, now we're having to chase them around. That's just part of the game. It's actually the part of the game that makes you a better trapper and makes you do better next time. But anyway, hang tight. We'll get over there and check on that other spot and see if maybe they move back down there, see if we can pinpoint them good. All right, guys, whenever the beavers lose the water like they did and you don't have them caught out of there, they're gonna move to find more water. This pond is, I don't know, about 300 yards from that big ditch on that same farm we're at. I just want to drive over here and take a look at it. In the past, that point, there's an old hut where those little pine trees come out to a point right in here. There's a little hut right up in there. So I knew that house was there with some water. I wanted to come over here to look at this pond just to see if maybe those beavers moved up into it. And so far, I'm not seeing any fresh cuttings, or I'm not seeing anything to make me think they're in here right now. But if you're and find yourself in the same situation, actually looks like I may see one chewed stick out there, so there may have been one up here visiting. But if you find yourself in the same situation, guys, and you're hunting them down, trying to figure out where they went, check every body of water that you know that is in the area, and they'll tell you real quick if they're in there or not. You'll be able to see sign and stuff. I don't think those beavers are in this pond right now, so we're gonna keep working our way down this ditch and see if we can't locate them. Get over here and look at this dam, see if maybe that dam's been remade. And it hadn't, guys. Don't look like they've been working on that dam any, but I'm just gonna walk along the edge here and see if I can see any tracks or anything where they've been coming in and out. Tell me that they might be back down here using these bank dens. So far, I'm not seeing anything. And then we're gonna hop back in the truck, guys, and if we don't find anything here, we're gonna drive this ditch back up toward that farm that we were just at, and just see if we can tell anything between here and there. So far, it doesn't look like anything down through here, guys. Not seeing any footprints up here on this area that's dry. Just looking up in these bank dens, I'm not really seeing any where it looks like they've been clawing going up in there. So yeah, I really don't think they're down here now. We'll keep moving, keep looking around. And if we check this whole ditch, we'll find them somewhere. Alright guys, so all I've done is been driving this ditch, stopping every couple hundred yards, walking over to the side of it, looking for a dam or somewhere to place traps. So right down there, you guys can see that. Hopefully you'll be able to tell that that log debris has come across there. It's created one spot where the water's flowing through. Right here, that's where we'd want to come in there and put a 330, guys. You can put a, if you wanted to, you could set it on the upper end with a 330, come down here and set it on the lower end with a 330, block it down. That looks like that's probably the way we're going to set this thing, because I'm not finding one area where they're at, but I know they're up and down through here. So we may just set these 330s just up and down periodically down this ditch, and may take a while, but we'll try to pick them up as they move through. That may be the only option we have available to us. But anyway, we'll check back in. I'm not all the way back up here to where we started at this morning, so I'm gonna keep driving. Maybe we'll locate a better location. All right guys, so here's the damage that those beavers caused by stopping that culvert up. Just right up here, just about right in there is where that culvert is that we stopped and I started this video at. Now I've driven this whole ditch except for this one little section here, and I want to drive down here and show you guys this washout that's been created by those beavers stopping that culvert, diverting the water. It's all washed to this end of the field and washed off into this ditch here. So yeah, I've driven all of the ditch that I've got access to drive and didn't locate anything, guys. So I'm gonna probably not set this, wait until after the ice gets over. We'll get back in here and get it set up. But those beavers either moved upstream or downstream from where I was able to get to today. We'll get back over here. Hopefully we can pinpoint them after this ice event's over and get some sets out. Nothing else, guys, we may have to just come down through here and find pinch points in this ditch and set 330s, snares, just guard those pinch points where those animals are going to have to travel, get them picked up that way. But and guys, I realize other parts of the country is different than my terrain. The beaver trapping is different, but you got to sometimes you got to think outside the box. You know, if you miss those beaver, whether just your presence being in there scares them, or if you missed one with a couple of traps set off and they're starting to wise up to you, you're educating that beaver that something's going on, and all of a sudden they disappear. Then if you're in farm country like I am, and you got these drainage ditches that run for miles and miles and miles into a bigger ditch, into a river system, those beavers aren't going to be anywhere but in that ditch somewhere. They're just moved a mile or two upstream or a mile or two downstream. The thing about it is that whole ditch system is going to have bank dens in it. It's going to have old houses, old huts, not only from these beavers, been building their entire lives, but the generations of beavers before them, guys. So unless a farmer or somebody, some human comes in behind those beavers and takes out all those bank dens, all those beaver huts, they're still there for the next generation to move right into. So that beaver, we could chase them down there and they could just come a mile up here to this property and they got a house already set up. They just move in, start damming up and holding water. So just think about that. If that's an issue you're having, it'll give you something else to think about when while you're out there trying to get those beavers in the traps. But guys, thanks for watching, and we didn't get anything set today. We won't be checking traps for a while. We're going to let this ice get out of here, and then we'll get everything reset back. And I'll get to doing my normal videos back then, guys. But everybody have a great day.